In 1867, for a measly $7.2 million, Russia offloaded a giant chunk of land to the US. They called it Seward's Folly. But was it really a folly or a strategic masterstroke gone wrong? To understand why selling Alaska was a mistake for Russia, we first need to look at the geopolitical and economic situation of Russia in the mid-19th century. At that time, Russia was struggling with significant financial strain and military challenges, especially following the costly Crimean War. The Russian Empire was vast, and maintaining control over distant territories like Alaska was becoming increasingly difficult and expensive. Alaska, with its harsh climate and remote location, posed significant logistical challenges for Russia. Defending this far-flung region from potential British encroachment was a major concern, especially given the ongoing tensions between the two powers. Russia feared that in the event of another conflict, they might lose Alaska to Britain without any compensation. Before the sale, Alaska was a sparsely populated and largely unexplored territory. The Russian presence was primarily concentrated around a few trading posts and settlements. The financial burden of maintaining these outposts, coupled with the lack of immediate economic benefits, made Alaska seem more like a liability than an asset. Russia decided to sell Alaska for several reasons. First, the financial strain from the Crimean War had left the empire in need of funds. Second, the logistical difficulty of defending such a distant and isolated territory was daunting. Finally, there was a strategic consideration. By selling Alaska to the United States, Russia could prevent it from falling into British hands, which was a significant concern at the time. However, in selling Alaska, Russia missed out on some incredible opportunities. At the time, the full extent of Alaska's vast natural resources was unknown. The territory is rich in gold, oil, and other minerals that would later prove to be incredibly valuable. The gold rushes of the late 19th century alone brought immense wealth to the region, and the discovery of oil in the 20th century further underscored Alaska's economic potential. Beyond natural resources, Alaska's strategic importance cannot be overstated. The territory offers significant military advantages due to its proximity to both the Pacific and Arctic regions. During the Cold War, Alaska's location proved crucial for the United States' defense strategy, providing a critical buffer and early warning system against potential threats from the Soviet Union. In hindsight, it's clear that selling Alaska was a major mistake for Russia. They not only lost out on untold wealth from natural resources, but also forfeited a strategically valuable territory that could have bolstered their global influence for generations. To understand the financial impact of selling Alaska, let's put the original sale price into perspective. In 1867, Russia sold Alaska to the United States for $7.2 million. Adjusted for inflation, that's about $140 million today. However, the true economic value of Alaska far exceeds this amount. Consider the wealth generated from Alaska's natural resources. The gold rushes of the late 19th century alone brought significant prosperity to the region. More importantly, the discovery of vast oil reserves in the 20th century, particularly the Prudhoe Bay oil field, turned Alaska into an economic powerhouse. This oil field has produced billions of barrels of oil, generating enormous revenue. Alaska's economic contributions aren't limited to minerals and oil. Its fishing industry is among the most productive in the world, supplying a significant portion of the global seafood market. The state's forests provide valuable timber, and its breathtaking landscapes have made tourism a major industry, attracting millions of visitors annually. These diverse economic activities have added billions of dollars to the U.S. economy. Beyond economic losses, Russia forfeited significant geopolitical advantages. Alaska's strategic location has proved invaluable to the United States, especially during the Cold War. It served as a critical point for military bases, radar installations, and early warning systems, enhancing America's defense capabilities against potential threats. If Russia had retained Alaska, these strategic advantages would have bolstered their military and global influence. Now let's explore a fascinating what-if scenario. What if Russia had never sold Alaska? Imagine a world where Alaska remained under Russian control. The implications would be profound, both economically and geopolitically. In this alternate history, Russia would have eventually discovered Alaska's vast natural resources. The gold rushes, starting with the Klondike Gold Rush, would have attracted Russian prospectors and settlers, significantly boosting the Russian economy. The discovery of oil in the 20th century would have further transformed Russia's economic landscape, providing a steady and substantial source of revenue. With its rich resources, Alaska would have become a critical economic asset for Russia, contributing to its wealth and global economic standing. The influx of resources would have bolstered Russia's industrial and technological development, potentially accelerating its progress in various sectors. Strategically, retaining Alaska would have given Russia a significant foothold in North America. During the Cold War, Alaska's proximity to the United States would have provided Russia with a strategic advantage, allowing for closer monitoring of American activities and a stronger position in the Arctic region. Russian military bases in Alaska could have altered the balance of power, creating a more complex and tense geopolitical landscape. Additionally, the presence of Russian settlers and infrastructure in Alaska would have fostered closer cultural and economic ties between Russia and the indigenous peoples of the region. This could have led to a unique blend of cultures and potentially smoother relations between Russia and the native populations, compared to the historical American approach. However, it's also important to consider the potential challenges Russia might have faced in this alternate scenario. Maintaining and developing Alaska would have required significant investment and resources, possibly straining Russia's economy and diverting attention from other critical areas. The harsh climate and remote location would have continued to pose logistical challenges, necessitating substantial infrastructure development. So it is safe to say that if Alaska had never been sold, Russia would have gained immense economic benefits from its natural resources and strategic advantages in global politics. Why did the United States decide to buy Alaska from Russia? The reasons are rooted in strategic vision and economic foresight. At the forefront of this decision was Secretary of State William H. Seward, a firm believer in American expansionism. Seward envisioned the United States stretching across the continent and beyond, and Alaska was a key piece in this puzzle. From a strategic standpoint, acquiring Alaska served several purposes. It provided the United States with a significant presence in the Pacific, which was crucial for expanding American influence in Asia. The purchase also prevented other powers, particularly the British, from encroaching on the American continent. By buying Alaska, the United States not only gained new territory, but also removed a potential threat from its northern border. The acquisition of Alaska was initially met with skepticism and even ridicule by some who dubbed it Seward's Folly or Seward's Icebox. Many Americans saw Alaska as a barren, frozen wasteland with little to offer. However, Seward and other proponents of the purchase had a longer-term vision. Economically, Alaska was expected to offer new opportunities. The region's potential for fishing, fur trading, and mining was recognized, even if the full extent of its resources was not yet known. Seward believed that over time, Alaska would prove to be a valuable asset to the nation. In addition to its economic prospects, the purchase of Alaska had immediate geopolitical benefits. It solidified the United States' role as a major player in the Pacific, paving the way for future expansion and influence. The acquisition also demonstrated America's growing ambition and confidence on the global stage, signaling to other nations that the United States was a force to be reckoned with. The purchase of Alaska was a strategic masterstroke, one that would reveal its true value in the decades to come. With the discovery of gold in the late 19th century and oil in the 20th century, Alaska's worth far exceeded the initial $7.2 million investment. The decision to buy Alaska ultimately proved to be a visionary move that contributed significantly to America's economic and geopolitical strength. Let's take a moment to consider how much Alaska would be worth if it were sold today. Given its vast natural resources, strategic importance, and economic potential, the value of Alaska has skyrocketed since the 1867 purchase price of $7.2 million. Today, economists and historians estimate that Alaska's worth could be in the hundreds of billions of dollars. One of the primary factors contributing to Alaska's high valuation is its abundant natural resources. Alaska is home to some of the largest oil fields in North America, including the Prudhoe Bay oil field, which has produced billions of barrels of oil since its discovery. The state's vast reserves of natural gas, coal, gold, and other minerals further add to its immense economic value. Let's break down the numbers. The Prudhoe Bay oil field alone has generated billions of dollars in revenue. Estimates suggest that the total value of Alaska's known oil reserves could be worth over $200 billion. This figure doesn't even account for the potential value of undiscovered resources, given that large areas of Alaska remain unexplored and underdeveloped. In addition to oil, Alaska's fishing industry is one of the most productive in the world. The state's waters are rich with fish and seafood, contributing billions of dollars annually to the economy. Moreover, Alaska's strategic military importance cannot be overlooked. Its location provides critical advantages for national defense and global military operations. The value of the land and infrastructure required for military bases, radar stations, and other defense installations adds another layer of worth to the state. When we combine the economic output from natural resources, the strategic military value, and the contributions from various industries, the total value of Alaska could easily exceed $300 billion today. This is a conservative estimate, as the true potential of Alaska's unexplored territories and future economic developments could push its value even higher. In summary, if Alaska were to be sold today, its price tag would be astronomically higher than the $7.2 million paid in 1867. As we wrap up, it's fascinating to reflect on how a single historical decision can have far-reaching consequences. The sale of Alaska is a prime example of this. What seemed like a straightforward transaction in 1867 has had profound economic, strategic, and geopolitical impacts that continue to resonate today. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this intriguing historical event. How do you think history might have been different if Alaska had remained in Russian hands? What other historical decisions do you think have had similarly profound impacts? Share your thoughts and comments below. We look forward to reading your perspectives. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the sale of Alaska, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with others who might find it interesting. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more historical analyses and insights into other significant transactions and geopolitical decisions that have shaped our world. Check out our other videos to continue exploring the fascinating ways in which history's pivotal moments have created the world we live in today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.